Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into the world of entrepreneurship today.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're just starting to think about an idea
Yeah.
or you're already building a business, this deep dive is for you.
It is.
We're taking all the best parts of this podcast episode we found.
Okay.
It's called Transforming Ideas into Action, the comprehensive guide to entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And we're going to make it into a roadmap,
Nice.
from idea to launch.
Oh, cool.
No extra stuff. Just
Yeah.
the important things.
Yeah, like a cheat sheet for the whole adventure.
Exactly.
Showing all the big wins and maybe some of the traps along the way.
Perfect.
Oh,
So let's say you've got this great idea for a business. What's the first thing you got to do?
the first thing you've got to do is you got to validate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You might think, my idea is so good, it's got to work.
Right.
You got to make sure there's a market for it.
Yeah.
It's like making sure the ground is solid before you jump.
So it's like detective work.
It is like detective work. You're like Sherlock Holmes, but for business.
I love that.
You've got to understand your market. Like, what do they need? What problems do they have?
And then see if your idea fits in.
Exactly.
So how do we become business detectives?
Well, this podcast episode talked about surveys and interviews, getting feedback from real people.
Well, from customers.
Yeah. But you can also get creative.
Ooh, I like creative.
But like you could make a website to see if people are interested.
Oh, landing page.
Yeah. Or even try to sell your product before you even make it, like with a crowdfunding campaign.
Whoa. That's really smart. You'd be validating your idea and getting customers all at the same time.
Yeah. It's a great way to see if people actually want what you're selling.
But this validation thing, isn't it a one-time thing?
It's not a one-time thing. You should always be getting feedback and improving your idea.
Oh, so it's like a loop.
Yeah, a feedback loop.
Got it. So we've got our idea. We've checked if people like it. Now what?
Now it's time to make a business plan.
Paperwork.
I know, but it's really important. It's like a roadmap to success.
Okay, but does anyone really like writing business plans?
I get it, but it helps you think about every part of your business.
Okay, so you don't miss anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who are your customers? How will you market your product?
And even your money stuff.
All of it.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure our business plan isn't just a boring document?
Yeah, that ends up in a drawer somewhere.
First, you need a really good executive summary. Think of it like your elevator pitch.
Oh, like the quick speech you give to get someone interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It should be short and exciting and tell people why your business is special.
So if someone doesn't want to invest after reading it, we need to start over.
Pretty much.
Okay, executive summary.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then you need a market analysis. This is where you show that you understand your industry.
Okay. Like who your competitors are?
Yeah. It's like knowing the battlefield before you go into war.
So you know their strengths and weaknesses.
Right. You
Oh.
wouldn't go into a fight without knowing who you're up against.
That's true. All right, so we get the executive summary and the market analysis. What's next?
Next is the marketing and sales strategy.
Okay, this is where we get to be creative.
It is. It's how you're going to reach your customers and make them want to buy from you.
What messages will we use?
Exactly. How much will we charge?
How will we reach people? Social media ads.
Yeah, all of that. And this is where knowing your target market is super important.
Yeah, you need to know who you're talking to.
Right, because even if you have the best marketing in the world,
Yeah.
you're not selling something people actually want,
It's not going to work.
it's not going to work.
Okay, so we've got a good idea. We've tested it. We've made a plan. But there's one thing missing.
What's that?
The money.
Ah, yes, funding. The most important thing for any new business.
And probably the scariest part.
It can be scary.
Really?
But the podcast talked about 3 main ways to get funding.
Okay, let's hear them.
Bootstrapping,
Bootstrap.
finding investors, and
Yeah.
crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding.
All
right. So bootstrapping, that's like using your own money, right?
It is. It means being really resourceful. You have total control over your business.
But it might be hard to grow quickly.
Yeah, because you don't have as much money.
Okay. What about finding investors?
Investors are people or companies with a lot of money who believe in your idea.
So they give you money to help your business grow.
Yeah, and in return, they get a part of your company.
So it's like Shark Tank.
Kind of, but the important thing is to have a good pitch.
So you can convince them that your business will be successful.
Exactly. Investors want to see that their money will grow.
Okay. And what about crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding is when you ask a lot of people for a little bit of money.
Oh, so you use those websites like Kickstarter,
Right? Websites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo.
and this way you can get money and also see if people are interested in your idea.
Yeah, it's a good way to test the waters and build excitement for your product.
Wow. So many options for getting money.
Right.
It's great to know about all of them before you even start.
Yeah, it helps you feel more prepared and confident.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got our idea. We've checked if people like it. We've got a plan. We've even figured out the money part. Now,
now it's time to build your brand.
Branding. Is that just picking a logo?
It's more than just a logo. It's how you present your business to the world.
It's your identity.
Exactly. It's what makes you different from everyone else and helps you connect with your customers.
Okay, so how do we build a brand? The podcast episode had some good ideas.
It starts with your values.
Values.
Yeah. What do you believe in? What makes your business special?
And then we figure out how to communicate those values to the world.
Exactly. Once you know your values, you can figure out your unique value proposition.
Unique value proposition. What's that?
It's the reason why someone should choose you over everyone else.
Oh, okay. So like if your product is higher quality.
Yeah, or if you have amazing customer service.
Or if you're doing something good for the environment.
Exactly. You need to be able to explain what makes you special.
So it's not just about what you sell?
No, it's about the whole experience.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. So once we know our values and our unique value proposition,
then you have to make sure your brand is consistent in everything you do.
So on our website and social media.
Everywhere. Your brand should tell a story that people connect with.
Okay. And speaking of online stuff, you can't really build a business these days without being online.
That's so true. Your website is often the first thing people see.
Yeah, it's like your digital storefront.
Exactly. So it has to look good and be easy to use.
And we need to be on social media too.
Social media is a great way to connect with your customers.
Yeah, you can share updates and talk to people.
And build relationships.
But it's not enough to just post random things.
No, you need a strategy.
So we need to know who we're trying to reach and what kind of content they want to see.
Yeah, you need to be engaging and responsive.
Like a good party host.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've talked about validating our idea, making a plan, getting money, building a brand. What's next?
Next is the big moment, the launch.
Wow. It's like all our hard work is finally coming together.
It's an exciting time, but it can also be a little scary.
So many things to think about.
There are. But the podcast episode really emphasized the importance of customer engagement.
Oh, that makes sense. You need to start building those relationships right away.
It's not just about making a sale, it's about creating an amazing experience.
So they'll come back for more.
Exactly.
Right.
And a lot of that happens online.
So social media is super important.
It is. You can use social media to get people excited about your business.
And to build a community.
But you need to do more than just post pretty pictures.
Yeah, there has to be a plan.
You need to understand your audience and create content they'll actually care about.
Okay. What about email marketing? Is that still a thing?
Email is still really effective.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good way to stay in touch with your customers and share valuable information.
Like a newsletter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you personalize your emails, people are more likely to open them.
Oh, so like addressing them by name?
Yeah, that makes it feel more personal.
And what about offline interactions?
If you have a physical store,
Yeah.
make sure it's a welcoming and memorable experience.
So, friendly staff? A nice atmosphere?
All of that. Little touches can make a big difference.
Even if you don't have a store, are there ways to connect with customers offline?
You could host events or workshops.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. It shows people that you care.
It does. And speaking of caring, another important part of customer engagement is feedback.
Ah, feedback. It can be scary sometimes.
It can be, but it's so valuable. It helps you understand what you're doing well.
And what you need to improve.
Exactly. So how do you encourage people to give feedback?
That's a good question.
You can ask for reviews on your website or social media.
Or send out surveys.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to just ask people directly.
Oh, okay. Sometimes a simple message can go a long way.
It can, but it's not enough to just collect feedback.
You have to actually do something with it.
Exactly. You need to show people that you're listening and that you care.
Because when you respond to feedback, it builds trust.
It does. Okay, now let's talk about something else that's important for any new business.
What's that?
Staying agile.
Agile. What does that mean?
It means being flexible and adapting to change.
Because the business world is always changing.
It is. New trends pop up all the time.
So you have to be ready to adjust.
Exactly. You need to keep learning and experimenting.
I like that. So it's like being a surfer.
A surfer?
Yeah. You have to keep adjusting to stay on top of the wave.
That's a great analogy. So how do we stay agile?
Well, we need to keep up with what's happening in our industry.
Yeah. Pay attention to your competitors.
And most importantly, listen to our customers.
Absolutely. You need to be ready to change course if necessary.
And don't be afraid to try new things.
Exactly. Failure is part of the process.
Oh yeah, I love that saying, failure is not the opposite of success.
It's part of the journey.
So true. Every successful entrepreneur has made mistakes along the way.
They have. The key is to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward.
Speaking of learning from mistakes, I have a great story.
Oh, I want to hear it.
So I was talking to this entrepreneur who started a meal kit delivery service.
Oh, yeah, those are really popular.
They are. But when they first started, they were only targeting busy professionals.
Okay.
But then they realized that a lot of other people were interested in their product too.
Like families and college students?
Yeah. Everyone's looking for a convenient way to cook healthy meals.
So they had to change their strategy.
They did. They expanded their menu and started targeting different groups of people.
And did it work?
It was a huge success.
Wow, that's a great example of staying agile.
It is. They were able to grow their business because they were willing to adapt.
So the lesson here is to be flexible and open to change.
Exactly. All right, before we move on to the last part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to talk about one more thing.
What's that?
Mindset.
Oh, yes. Mindset is so important for entrepreneurs.
It's those mental habits that help you succeed.
Yeah, it's what helps you stay positive and motivated even when things are tough.
Because let's face it, being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster.
It is. There are going to be ups and downs.
But a strong mindset can help you through it all.
So in the next part of our deep dive,
we're
going to talk about how to develop that entrepreneurial mindset.
I can't wait. This is going to be good.
It is.
Stay tuned.
It's going to be insightful and inspiring.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're back, and we're ready to launch this business.
We are. It's like we've been building this ship for months.
Yeah.
And now it's finally time to set sail.
I love that analogy. So much excitement. But where do we even start?
Well, this podcast episode really focused on engaging with your customers right away.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want them to feel like they're part of something special.
Yeah. You're not just selling a product. You're building a relationship.
And these days, a lot of those relationships start online, right?
Absolutely. Social media is so important for any new business.
Okay, so we need to be on all the platforms, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, all of them. But you need a strategy. You can't just post random stuff.
So we need to think about our audience and what kind of content they want to see.
Exactly. What are their interests? Yeah. What problems can we solve for them?
And we need to be engaging. Right? Like responding to comments and messages.
It's like you're hosting a virtual party.
Oh, I like that.
You want your guests to feel welcome and entertained.
And have fun.
Exactly. So be responsive. Answer questions. Show people that you care.
Okay, so social media is key. But what about email marketing?
Email is still a really powerful tool.
Really? I thought some people considered it outdated.
It might seem old school, but it's a great way to stay in touch with your customers.
Oh, so you can send them updates and special offers.
Exactly. And you can personalize those emails to make them feel more special.
Oh, yeah, like using their name or sending them recommendations based on their past purchases.
Exactly. It shows people that you're paying attention to them.
That's smart. What about offline interactions? Are those still important in today's digital world?
They can be, especially if you have a physical store.
Oh, yeah. You want people to have a positive experience when they walk in the door.
Think about the little things. Friendly staff, a clean and welcoming space.
Maybe some free samples.
Exactly. It's all about making a good impression.
And even if you don't have a physical store, are there ways to connect with customers offline?
There are. You could host events or workshops.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. It's a chance to meet people face to face.
And to build those personal connections.
All right, so we've talked about engaging with customers online and offline. What else do we need to think about?
Feedback.
Oh, feedback. That can be a little scary.
It can, but it's so important. It helps you understand what you're doing well.
And what you need to work on.
Exactly. So encourage people to leave reviews on your website or social media.
You could also send out surveys or just ask people directly.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for feedback.
And when you do get feedback, what's the most important thing?
Take action. Show people that you're listening and that you care.
It shows that you value their opinion.
Exactly. And it helps you improve your business.
Okay, so we've talked about customer engagement and feedback. Now I want to talk about something else that's crucial for new businesses.
What's that?
Staying agile.
Ah, yes. Staying agile. In the business world, things change quickly.
New trends pop up all the time.
Exactly. And if you're not willing to adapt, you'll get left behind.
So we need to be flexible and open to new ideas.
And we need to be willing to experiment.
So it's like being a surfer.
A surfer.
Yeah, you got to be able to adjust to the waves.
I love that analogy. You have to stay balanced and keep your eyes on the horizon.
So how do we stay agile in the business world?
Well, you need to stay informed about what's happening in your industry.
So read industry publications and attend conferences.
Exactly. Talk to other entrepreneurs network with people in your field.
And listen to your customers. They'll tell you what they want.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to try new things.
Even if it means failing sometimes.
Failure is part of the learning process.
Yeah, it's how we grow and get better.
Every successful entrepreneur has faced setbacks along the way.
They have. The key is to learn from those setbacks and keep moving forward. Speaking of learning from setbacks, I have a story about this entrepreneur I met.
Okay, I'm listening.
So this entrepreneur started a meal kit delivery service.
Oh, yeah, those are really popular right now.
They are. But when they first launched their business, they were targeting a very specific group of people.
Who were they targeting?
Busy professionals who wanted to eat healthy but didn't have a lot of time to cook.
Okay, makes sense.
But then they realized that their product appealed to a much wider audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it turned out that lots of people were looking for a convenient way to cook healthy meals.
So they had to pivot their strategy.
They did. They expanded their menu and started marketing to different groups of people.
And did it work?
It was a huge success. Their business really took off.
Wow, that's a great example of how staying agile can pay off.
It is. They were able to adapt to the market and achieve amazing growth.
So the key takeaway here is to be flexible and open to change.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to adjust your plans as you learn and grow.
And never stop experimenting.
All right, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to talk about one more thing.
What's that?
Mindset.
Ah, mindset. The secret weapon of every successful entrepreneur.
It's all about those mental habits and beliefs that help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, it's what helps you stay positive, motivated, and resilient.
Because let's face it, the entrepreneurial journey is not always easy.
There are going to be challenges and setbacks along the way.
But a strong mindset can help you overcome those challenges and stay focused on your vision.
So in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to explore some key strategies for developing a resilient, growth-oriented mindset.
This is going to be good. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our entrepreneurial deep dive. We're in the home stretch now.
We've covered a lot of ground. Mapping the journey from sparking that initial idea all the way to launching and navigating those first crucial steps as a business owner.
Exactly. And today we're focusing on one of the most important ingredients.
The secret ingredient. The one that powers the entire journey.
Mindset.
Mindset. Those mental habits and beliefs that set you up for success as an entrepreneur.
They help you overcome challenges, seize opportunities.
And weather those inevitable storms.
Because let's be honest, entrepreneurship is a wild ride.
It is a wild ride. Ups and downs, exhilaration, and moments of doubt.
And that's where mindset comes in. It helps you navigate those twists and turns.
Keeps you going when things get tough.
So let's get practical. How can we develop a powerful entrepreneurial mindset?
Well, the podcast episode we've been analyzing highlighted something really important.
Okay, what's that?
Embracing a positive outlook.
Oh, I love that. Positivity is so powerful.
It is. It's like a superpower for entrepreneurs. When you approach challenges with a can-do attitude, you're more likely to find creative solutions.
You stay motivated even when things are tough.
Exactly. It's about focusing on the possibilities instead of getting bogged down by problems.
I like that. And here's another tip. Surround yourself with positive people.
Oh, that's so important. Your support network. People who believe in you.
Mentors, friends, other entrepreneurs who get it.
They can make a world of difference.
Especially when you hit those bumps in the road.
Now, speaking of challenges, we touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating.
What's that?
Embracing failure as a learning experience.
Oh, yes. Failure is a part of the journey for every entrepreneur.
Every single one. Every successful entrepreneur has faced setbacks and made mistakes.
The key is to shift your perspective. See those experiences as valuable feedback. So it's not about avoiding failure.
It's about learning from it.
Using it as fuel to grow.
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do things differently next time?
That's powerful. It can turn a setback into a stepping stone.
And it's not just about reframing failure. Our whole approach to learning needs an entrepreneurial makeover.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Continuous learning is essential in the world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, you've got to be constantly absorbing new information.
Be a sponge. Soak it all up. New skills, new knowledge.
It's like being a lifelong student. Always curious. Always pushing your boundaries.
Exactly. Read books, attend workshops, connect with experts. Never stop learning.
And don't be afraid to step outside of that comfort zone.
That's where the magic happens.
Challenge yourself. Try new things. Embrace the opportunities that push you to grow.
It's all part of the adventure. So we've talked about positivity, reframing failure, and committing to continuous learning. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final question to ponder.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Imagine you've fully embraced this resilient, growth-oriented mindset. You're positive, you view setbacks as learning opportunities, and you're committed to lifelong learning. Now, what bold, audacious goal will you set for yourself and your business?
It's an incredible question. It's about dreaming big, envisioning a future where anything is possible.
Because with the right mindset, there are no limits.
This has been an amazing deep dive. So much valuable information and inspiration for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. We hope you've gained some practical tools and feel empowered to take that next step on your journey.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Build a support network, embrace the challenges, and never stop believing in your dreams.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep chasing those entrepreneurial dreams.
We'll see you next time.